Unboxing, unit functionality, installation, plus audio samples all happens now. Sound Society, let's go. Everything I just mentioned, plus a checklist to ensure your 276 is working correctly with your DAW. In Society, I got you on that low latency monitoring. And make sure you watch to the end because yes, we do have audio samples, comment section for clarity, unboxing, let's go. So first off, the unit itself, which is beautiful. The buttons don't feel cheap and the dials have a flawless turn to them. Then you got the 5-volt power supply cable. Then you got the main connectivity cable. And then some extra papers, nothing really noteworthy. Oh, and yeah, it does come with a boatload of software to help aid you in your audio production, but we'll get to check that out here in just a minute during the installation process. But now let's get a little bit more familiar with the interface itself. Okay, the 276 front to back. So first, the headphone output that had no problem driving any of my headphones. My only real hang up with this unit is that it only had one. I'm always working with somebody, so for me, that's a no-go. Yes, you can use a headphone splitter, so I left a link for those who are down with the workarounds. I just prefer to use dedicated headphone outputs with their own respective volume controls, as I'm sure you understand. So with that output, make sure you got your 1/4-inch adapter, and you're good. Next, you got your 2 combi jack inputs. If you're plugging up your mic, make sure you have a quality XLR cable. Me, I roll with Megami jumpers, and of course, we have left links for you for those as well. And then you have your 48-volt phantom power button that you typically only need if you're running a condenser mic that doesn't have its own power supply. And then for all my singer-songwriters that are wanting to record your acoustic, electric, or bass guitar, get you an instrument cable like so. Notice the end only has one black ring on the connector, which is known as a TS tip. That's the cable you want. Both ends are virtually the same. Plug one end into your guitar and the other end into the front of the 276. Then press the little instrument button and you're almost there. And to all my keyboard players out there, keep in mind when you plug up your keys, you can use the same cable, but you're gonna leave that instrument button disengaged. Moving to the top of the unit, you have 2 gain knobs for both of your combi jack inputs. Then above that, you have this vintage button, which basically transforms the 276 mic pre to model their classic 610-2 preamp. Long story short, it sounds better with it engaged. Then above that, you have the 76 compressor button, which is modeled off the iconic 1176 compressor. Now, what I like about this, if you're a beginner, the fixed attack and release times within these compressor presets eliminate option overload, and that's a plus. So keeping it simple, if you're recording vocals, throw it on VOC. Electric guitar acoustic, throw it on GTR. And then for the bass players, you got the compressor settings fast setting. If you're not feeling the vibe, leave it out. At any rate, feel free to experiment. Keep in mind there has been some to complain about this, but yes, the 76 compressor when engaged does jack with the gain staging of the input signal. But since the unit has been ultra simplified, when using the 76 compressor, you're just gonna wanna back down the gain until you're at the desired level and keep it moving. Then to the right, you got your monitor knob that controls the volume coming out your studio monitors. Above that, you have your input and output meters and a little guidance for the beginners. If I'm tracking through this thing, I'm looking for a level that is pretty consistent reading on the 18 of the input meter. If it's occasionally touching 9, you're not hurting anything, but I would definitely refrain from letting your input when recording touch the 3. If you're hitting that 3, I'm saying back it down a little bit. And then last for the top, we have the also coveted direct button. So if you're worried about latency when you record, I'm saying don't be. Hit the button once, it turns orange, that's stereo monitoring. Hit the button one more time, now it's blue, and that's what we're looking for. Now, once you mute the input of your audio channel in your DAW, you now have no latency monitoring. You're welcome, no worries, I got you. Moving to the back. Left to right, you got the power switch. Next to that is where your 5-volt plug goes, with the other end of this cable going to any type of power adapter. Then next to that, you got your USB-C connection, USB-C to the back of the Volt, then the USB-A to your computer. Moving right, you have your MIDI in and out, which use cables with connections like this. Then lastly, we got our left and right monitor outs, which are gonna call for cables like these that have TRS connections going into the back of the 276. Notice these tips have 2 black rings. Now these are the cables you're gonna want for your left and right monitor outs, which we have also left a link for your convenience. Society, we are almost to the music. If you are finding value in this video, if you are appreciating any aspect of this video, share the channel with all your artist, musician friends, and hit that subscribe button. Installation process, let's go. Step 1, go to www.uaudio.com/volt276/start. Step 2, download the UA Connect app, which will throw you a download to your desktop. Step 3, double-click the download DMG and agree to terms and let it do its thing. Step 4, drag the UA Connect app into the applications folder, then add it to your dock like so. And at this time, you can eject the UA Connect installer. Step 5, open the UA Connect app. You'll get a pop-up window that reads UA Connect is an app downloaded from the internet. Are you sure you want to open it? Saying yes, we're sure, click open. Step 6, create an account if you don't already have one. Once you've done so, we are now inside UA Connect. Step 7, take both of the included cables and plug up your 276. Step 8, bottom left corner of the UA Connect app, click the plus sign where it says add hardware. You'll get another pop-up window that says enter the serial number that can be found on the bottom of the unit, and then press enter. Step 9, another window asking you to power on your unit. And step 10, the last window, where you now register your 276 by clicking the register button. Now your unit is officially registered, and you now have access to all the included software bundles and informative videos. They even include a version of Ableton Live 11 Lite to be specific, something to get you started if you don't already have a DAW. And at this time, here's where you would want to hit any of those redeem buttons and grab any software you may need or want. So now let's run through my checklist to ensure that y'all don't have any problems getting initial signal through your 276 into your DAW, and that in doing so, you don't experience any latency. Checklist, let's go. You already have your Volt on, so your unit should be showing a little blue host light in between the meters. Check. Next, make sure your computer sound is set to Volt 276. Check. Next, open your DAW, name your session, and the first thing you want to check inside your DAW is that the playback engine is also set to Volt 276. Check. Then you want to jump into your I/O and make sure that your monitor left and right is selected as your main output monitor path. See, I almost got caught slipping. Check. Then create a stereo master track and a mono audio track. Check. Then you don't have to engage the mute button with the Volt. I do just out of habit and save practice so I never run into any unnecessary latency from dual monitoring layers. But for the beginners, to the left is this input button that needs to be selected or you will not be getting any audio into your DAW. Check. Now that we got that set up in the DAW, jumping back to the Volt. Plug up your mic with the XLR cable into input 1. If you're using a condenser microphone that does not have its own power supply, now would be the time to engage the 48 volt phantom power button. Then plug up your headphones with that 1/4 inch adapter into the headphone output. I found out with the headphone volume knob at about 2 o'clock is where I would start off for headphone volume. Check. Now the direct monitor button. So check it out. You could have everything set up right. You could even be getting signal into your DAW, but if this direct button is not engaged, you will hear nothing in your headphones. So press it twice, get it to the blue, and keep it moving. Check. Then slowly turn up the input 1 gain knob until you see peaks anywhere from -15 to -10 dBFS. Check. Then lastly, arm the audio track you're trying to record to by engaging the record button. And then up top in the transport area, engage the record button up there as well, and then press spacebar, and now you are off to the races. Rapping, singing, poetry, voiceover. So now that I brought you up to speed with all of that, let's jump into these audio samples so you can get an idea of what this unit actually sounds like. Plus get a feel for how the Volt's vintage button and compressor section affects the sound. Audio samples, let's see what they're talking about. Okay, so for context, all of these vocal samples were tracked with the Shure SM7B running straight into the Volt 276 at 44.1K into Pro Tools. So now if this mic speaks to you, of course, we left a link for the SM7B in the description. And then for the guitars, nothing can change, straight to the 276 into Pro Tools. Comment section, let us know what you think about how this unit sounds and feels. Look, I've spoken enough. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Tariq Adid, audio samples, let's go. Audio samples, studio, headphones, on, now. Electric guitar. Bass guitar. The vocal.
Baby, slip on something. Maybe let some don't show too much. Take our time to learn your flow. Under all these lights, you're a diamond. Baby, slip on something. Maybe let some don't show too much. Take our time to learn your flow. Under all these lights, you're a diamond. Baby, slip on something. Maybe let some don't show too much. Take our time to learn your flow. Under all these lights, you're a diamond.
All together, no processing.
Baby, slip on something. Maybe let some don't show too much. Take our time to learn your flow. Under all these lights, you're a diamond. Baby, slip on something. Maybe let some don't show too much. Take our time to learn your flow. Under all these lights, you're a diamond. Baby, slip on something. Maybe let some don't show too much. Take our time to learn your flow. Under all these lights, you're a diamond.